It was the kind of rain that soaked into your bones and made even the ground shiver. In a small, quiet town nestled deep in Enugu State, the world slowed down as the sky wept. It was on such a night that Amarachi's story began to rot from the roots. Amarachi Noji was 27, vibrant, fair-skinned, and full of laughter that could light up a funeral. She had always trusted one person with everything, her best friend since childhood, Chisholm. They were inseparable, bound by secrets, dreams, and shared scars. Where Amarachi was calm and kind, Chisholm was wild and bold, always chasing what didn't belong to her. But Amarachi loved her like blood. Amarachi was engaged to Obinna Okafor, a tall, wealthy businessman from Nsukka. The kind every mother prayed her daughter would marry. Their wedding was in 3 weeks. Obinna had built her a duplex in the heart of Enugu and bought her a white Lexus. Life smiled on her, and that smile was exactly what stabbed Chisholm's heart. The jealousy began like a cough, subtle, silent. Then it grew into a scream only Chisholm could hear. She wanted what Amarachi had. She wanted Obinna. It started with small sabotages. Lost invitations. Misplaced wedding fabrics. But Amarachi was too blinded by love to notice the cracks her friend had started digging. Until one evening, during her bridal shower, everything changed. The girls had gathered at a private lodge in Nsukka. There was food, drinks, laughter, and music. Chisholm smiled, danced, and toasted to Amarachi. But something was wrong. Amarachi's head felt heavy, her eyes blurry. She whispered something about dizziness and stumbled. The last thing she remembered was Chisholm's arms catching her, whispering, "I got you," before the darkness swallowed her whole. When she woke up, she couldn't move. She couldn't breathe. She was inside something, tight, cold, and earthy. Her screams died in her throat as soil filled her nostrils. It was a coffin. A real coffin. She was buried. Alive. Panic clawed at her chest. Her nails scraped the coffin's wood as she screamed with everything inside her. Hours passed. Or days. She lost sense of time. Her phone, gone. No light. No air. Only the thud of her heartbeat and the sound of betrayal echoing in her mind. Just when death kissed her cheek, a miracle happened. Grave robbers. 2 men digging up corpses for ritual purposes stumbled on her coffin. At first, they screamed and fled, thinking she was a vengeful ghost. But when she coughed and cried, one of them, Namdi, returned out of pity and pulled her out. She was weak, filthy, broken, but alive. That's when the real horror began. When Amarachi found her way back to Enugu, her world was gone. Obinna had married Chisholm. The wedding happened 3 days after her burial. According to the fake obituary that was spread online, Amarachi had died of an asthma attack on her bridal shower night. Chisholm cried the loudest. She even wrote a long tribute. The body that was buried wasn't hers. It was a disfigured corpse, burned and unrecognizable, planted by Chisholm's uncle who worked at a mortuary. Amarachi stood by her own graveside, watching her replacement wear her ring. Her heart didn't break, it turned to ice. Everyone thought she was dead, and she chose to remain that way. She didn't go to the police. She didn't confront anyone. She began to haunt them. At night, she appeared to Obinna in mirrors, in his sleep, in his car's rearview. He began to lose his mind. He'd scream her name in his sleep, wake up with scratch marks. He told pastors, prophets, none could help. He thought it was guilt. But it was real. Chisholm saw her too. In dreams. On walls. In voices coming from her wardrobe. "You buried me alive," the whisper said. Now I will live through you. One evening, during a dinner with guests, Chisholm screamed and threw a hot pot of soup at the empty seat across the table, shouting, "Leave me alone, Amarachi." Everyone stared. Her eyes bulged. Her sanity cracked. Obinna couldn't take it anymore. One night, he drove his Lexus into a tree, convinced Amarachi was sitting beside him in the passenger seat. He died on the spot. Chisholm was admitted into a psychiatric hospital the same week. Meanwhile, Amarachi relocated to Abuja, living in quiet peace with a new identity. She had lost everything, her love, her past, her innocence, but she had gained something else. Power. And silence. Sometimes at night, she would whisper her name into the wind, Amarachi. The ghost that lived. Because even after death, betrayal never rests, and ghosts never forget.
Subscribe to this channel for more interesting stories.